What's up, guys? It's Joyasportsnetwork over here with two new guests and my buddies, Jose Miramontes and John Acuna. Feel free to introduce yourselves, guys.
As you guys heard, I'm Jose Miramontes. I'm a Celtics fan and a Barca and America fan. And John?
Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy John. All right. I support OKC. Yes, I'm a Thunder fan. I also like the Dodgers, and I also, since I'm an LA native, I also support the Rams. All right.
All right, let's get this show on the road. First up, we got basketball. We got Zion Williamson coming back January 22nd. Any input on that?
I'm excited, I'm excited to see him come back because a lot of people expect him to do good, They expect him to take over, be Rookie of the Year. At this point, I don't think he'll be able to win it, Rookie of the Year, because I think John Morant already has that. He's already on the road to being Rookie of the Year, in my opinion. But I'm excited to see Zion come back, because especially the way seeing that Pelicans are playing right now with Lonzo and Ingram doing really good. Adding Zion to that lineup, I feel like they'd probably be a very, very scary team to play against. But yeah, very excited to see Zion come back.
The thing with the Pelicans too, they have a young core, so adding on Zion, it makes them stronger for later in the future. They're like bottom of the seed in the Western Conference. I feel like they might be either in the middle towards the end of the season, and just with Zion coming back, he was playing good at Duke. There was rumors that he was probably going to go back for another year at Duke, but I'm pretty sure he's going to stay with the Pelicans, and we'll see how it goes. I think it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, I completely agree with you guys. Do you guys think they can make it to the playoffs this year? Or no?
Well, it depends. What place are they on right now?
12th place.
12th place.
They need to at least be the 8th seed.
I feel like they're going to be low seed.
Possible.
Possibly. Yeah.
Adding Zion, I feel like they could probably pull it off. Mm-hmm. They could probably get to the 8th seed.
Playoffs? This year?
Yeah, I feel like they could make it to playoffs.
They can make it to playoffs, looking how it is. But I mean, at this point, they might be at least low seed.
Yeah, low seed, but low seed minimum. Mm-hmm. I think they'll make it to playoffs though.
Because the Western Conference, you look at it here. Western Conference is the most stacked conference out of the Eastern and Western. You got the Lakers, you got the Clippers, and you got like all the other good teams as compared to like the Eastern Conference, where they also have good teams, but it's not as competitive and as stacked. So that's why Pelicans are in a tough position right now. They'd be lucky to at least get in the seed and at least be a playoff contender.
Yeah.
But again, it's kind of like a not really. How should I say? Not really like
just not as stacked.
Not as stacked. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I agree with you guys. With the Pelicans are a very exciting and young team. I don't know. I don't expect them to make the playoffs this year. I hope they can, but I can't wait to see how. I feel next year for sure to make a strong push.
Yeah,
because they got a very fun and young, exciting team.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, I can't wait for that.
And then Zion's only gonna get better, and the whole team's also gonna get better too as they grow. Zion's just a rookie right now. Sometimes rookies do good, and sometimes rookies don't do good. So we'll see how he goes throughout the rest of the season, and even possibly next season too.
All right, boys. Next up, we got football. We want to start off with the Kansas City. Did any of you guys watch the Chiefs versus Titans game?
I watched that game too. Was it yesterday? Yeah, I watched it yesterday. My input on it is, you know what? Titans choked. They didn't really do good. I just gotta say, man. I was watching it, and the Chiefs were doing decent. They were doing pretty good, but the Chiefs, they just had a better offense at that point, and the Titans had not even the best defense. They're known for their defense, and also Derrick Henry too, who's part of the offense. But you look at it throughout the whole day, the whole game, and you could pretty much see all the Chiefs exposing the Titans' offense. They had sloppy defense throughout some of the quarters. And you know what? Chiefs went on to win it. And we're going to see them play against the next team from the NFC.
Yeah, I'm seeing right here that Derrick Henry only had 69 yards, which was an important piece to this Kansas City Chiefs win. So they stopped that run game. They stopped Tennessee. Anything you want to say about that?
Yeah, very interesting what Patrick Mahomes is doing for Kansas City, honestly. Well, honestly, I didn't think the Titans were gonna make it that far. To be honest with you, I wanted the Baltimore Ravens to make it farther than them. But as you can see, they actually chose. They surprised everyone, in my opinion.
In a way, they're the dark horse of the the dark horse of the NFL.
Yeah.
But Mahomes, back to what you guys said about Mahomes.
Very,
That guy. If Lamar Jackson did not play this season, I would definitely say this man deserves MVP. Definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
He's a great leader, great player. Can't wait to watch that Super Bowl, boys.
Yeah.
Next game we got
The
Green Bay Packers
game.
versus the 49ers.
Embarrassing.
What do you guys got to say about that?
Now, I didn't see this game. I only saw the beginning of it, and the 49ers, they're just an all-out good team, man. They got a stacked defense. Talk about defense. They got Richard Sherman. They got so many elite players. They got Nick Bosa coming off the edge too, putting the pressure on the quarterback. Man, that was just, they have a stacked team, man.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I watched it, and it was embarrassing. I kept updating my phone to see the scores. I kept seeing 49ers go up and up. I was like, Jesus Christ, what is happening? And it was, in a way, it was very disappointing. I expected the Packers to put up, to play their game. They said that they were going to be ready for them the next time that they played them, but as you can see, they didn't do that. Well, I mean, towards the end, I give them props. They did pick it up a bit. They started to score the points. I thought they were going to pull the Patriots, coming back, but they fell short. They fell very short, and it was just a very disappointing game. Honestly, you don't expect any team to play that bad when it comes to a playoffs game. You expect both teams to be equal, and play their game and have a very good game. But in this case, I don't think it was a very good game, in my opinion. It was more one-sided, like John said. The 49ers are just very stacked. They're very good. And I don't know. I feel like the 49ers are going to take the Super Bowl. I'm going to say it now.
But like I predicted, guys, in my last video, the Packers choked. They did not prove me wrong. Like I said, disappointment. They got Mostert completely destroyed them with 4 TDs. He made that Packers defense look very, very, very defeated. Credit to the 49ers. They got a good team all around. We can't wait for this Super Bowl. As you can see, Jose got the next topic that we're going to talk about up early, Super Bowl predictions. He said he got the 49ers.
49ers.
Why do you got the 49ers?
Just seeing them play, they're just OP right now. They're very OP. I don't know. I see it hard for Kansas City to Don't get me wrong. Kansas City has a very good team too. But I feel like the 49ers are more stacked. And I feel like they could probably get the upper hand on Kansas City.
I agree with you too. I think the 49ers are a good team. Pretty much next to the, preseason, or not preseason, but regular season Titans, they had a pretty good defense. But you know what? I'm going to say the Chiefs win it. I'm going to say the Chiefs come out top. They got Travis Kelce. They got a good receiving core. They got Patrick Mahomes too. Of course, is going to be the all-star of the team. You know what? I think they're gonna. I think defense wins championships, but this time I think it's probably going to be the offense of the Chiefs.
Yeah, I feel you. I see your point.
I could agree with John, and I also believe Kansas City is going to take the Super Bowl this year. Because if this game comes down to who's the better quarterback between Mahomes and Garoppolo, believe me, Garoppolo is miles ahead. I mean, no, my bad. Mahomes is miles ahead. So if this game comes down to QBs, I'm sorry, Kansas City's going to take this dub. Can't wait for it. You heard our predictions. Next topic we got Chicharito to LA Galaxy. Jose, as a soccer fan and an LAFC fan, what is your input on this?
I don't.
And a Mexico fan.
Chicharito is done. I don't understand why his team still want him. He's not the player that he used to be. In Sevilla, he didn't do much for Sevilla. As to De Jong was the main striker for them. I just don't understand why Galaxy would do that. If I were a Galaxy, I would have gone for a way better striker. He didn't do good. He didn't do good in Sevilla, being honest. He didn't get the minutes. West Ham, he did decent. He scored a few goals there and there, saving West Ham. But even then, he couldn't do much to help them. Leverkusen, I can't even lie. He was a monster. He scored a lot of good goals. He was very good, consistent, and I don't think that Chicharito's at the level that he used to be. In my opinion, he's washed up already. I feel like he should just retire.
That's a bold statement, man.
Chicharito's not as good as he used to be, and I don't think Galaxy picking up Chicharito is gonna benefit them in any way. I feel like he's just done already. Chicharito. LA Galaxy should have gone for a better striker. They could have gone for Nico Castillo, who is an America striker. He was one of their main targets, but instead they decided to pick up Chicharito, which I don't know. He's not gonna fill the void that Zlatan left, because Zlatan is Zlatan. Obviously, I don't know. I didn't like this move at all from LA Galaxy. Being an LAFC fan, I'm happy because you guys got probably one of the worst strikers right now. But yeah.
I have to agree with Jose. As a LA Galaxy fan, I was not happy about this. Because, yeah, like he said, Zlatan is Zlatan. Chicharito, what was the other guy? Castillo. No one's going to fill this void. You needed a European superstar to sign right now. But the Galaxy did not come through with that, which is why I'm saying it now. I feel this year will be LAFC's year to take LA. But you have to remember, LA is a Galaxy town. 5 championships. So, I have to bring that up. Okay, so yeah, but that's about it. Like, I completely agree with him. I don't feel Chicharito's even at the peak or as great as he was at Leverkusen, Real Madrid. I just don't see it perfect. I don't see this year is going to be good for LA Galaxy.
I mean, Chicharito, I always thought he was a good player. I mean, even when he plays for Mexico, I thought he was a good player, but I could be wrong too because I'm not that into soccer. But I mean, I always thought Chicharito was a good player. He was a good striker. But we'll see how he goes with LA Galaxy.
Like you said, he was a good player for Mexico. Don't get me wrong; he's one of the best strikers that came from Mexico. But right now, his level isn't there. His level hasn't been there for a few seasons already. So yeah.
All right, boys. Next up, we got Ashley Young and Victor Moses to Inter. Inter is hot this transfer window. I believe they're the European team that's buying. Well, the biggest European team so far that's buying players. What do you think of the players they bought so far?
The Ashley Young move was pretty interesting. It's the same thing as his Chris Smalling move to Roma. As you can see, he's doing really good in Roma right now.
Yeah, he's doing really good.
I wouldn't be surprised if Ashley Young decided to turn up for Inter too. Because I'm sorry, but Manchester United is not a very good team, in my opinion. I don't like Manchester United.
Sorry, Ivan.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like Chris Smalling, in a way, the true player he is came out in Roma. He's doing really good. Some people even started calling him Smaldini, I think. Yeah, they started calling him that because he was doing that good. So I'm like, wow, okay. Ashley Young to Inter, I don't know. That's gonna be very interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts doing good because
Moses, a former Premier.
Yeah, where did Victor Moses play? He was at Chelsea.
He was at Chelsea.
Yeah, and I don't know.
With the young, I feel I don't know. That was just a surprise. Conte is known for running his 3-5-2 formation. I guess he's gonna use Young and Moses for that, but I feel I don't know. Young at 34, that was unexpected and crazy. And Moses as well. I believe they bought him from Fenerbahce. He was playing in Turkey, but also unexpected moves by Conte. Who knows what Conte has up in his sleeves? Inter are out of Champions League. They are in Europa League. and they're fighting with Forceria against Juventus. So let's see where Inter's priorities sit and see what their plan is from here. Okay. Feel free to say that's all right. Next up we got boxing and UFC. There is no boxing news, but we did have a fight this Saturday. Conor McGregor versus Cerrone. What are your guys' reactions to that fight? What are you guys' reactions?
I expected Conor to take him down, but not that fast. 40 seconds. That's how long it took me to find a stream to watch the fight. By the time I clicked on the stream, I had seen that he had already picked up his flag. I was like, oh my god, he already won. Let me find out. And then that's when I see that Cowboy's on the floor. I'm like, oh yeah, he won already. So it was very interesting.
You know,
I didn't think he was going to knock him out that much.
I didn't think so too. And you know what? Let's go more in depth with this. All right. See, we look at Masvidal. Okay, Masvidal before he fought Nate Diaz, he had tactics too. He was facing against a wrestler, and if you notice, he knocked out a guy within 5 seconds. That's the fastest in UFC history. And you know why? Because he went in with the knee. His competitor, I don't know what his name was. I completely forgot. But he went straight for the knee. And as the wrestler, because, you know, when you have a wrestling stance, you always have to go for both of the knees, you know, to, like, grapple and you actually, like wrestle on the floor. But what he did was he timed and predicted that he would come in for the two knees, and he predicted that, and that's when he was able to get with the knee. Now McGregor did the exact same thing. He took the exact page out of his book. You know, he saw he didn't think Cerrone was probably gonna do that, but you know, after that miss, that left hook, he just like, you know what, let me follow this up with this knee. He hit him, and you know what was interesting? That shoulder jab too.
Yeah,
you guys see that shoulder? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd never seen that before, you know. But I guess that also plays with his height advantage too. You know, with McGregor being shorter than Cowboy.
Yeah.
You know, he's got to take it to his advantage too, and then he finished it off with that right hook, and then just beat him to the ground.
Can I mention something?
Yeah.
Seeing the way that Conor McGregor he approached this fight, I was very shocked because it seems as if it's a more mature Conor McGregor. Because during the press conference, he didn't, you know, mostly he's known for talking smack to the opponent. He didn't do that in this one at all. He showed total respect to him. He like, you know, he shook his hand, everything. We're known of seeing Conor McGregor, you know, talking smack, getting up to their faces, doing all, you know, because Conor McGregor normally is known for that. It was very interesting to see him more mature in a way. I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like he's a different type of fighter now. Mm-hmm. He has a different mentality now, and I feel in a way that makes him kind of like a more scary fighter to fight, because he's more serious now. He's humble now. He's way more humble. Like suffering 2 losses, one against Khabib, another one against Mayweather, right?
Nate Diaz.
Nate Diaz, yeah. In a way, I feel like suffering those 2 losses in a way made him realize, like, yeah, I have to take this more seriously. And he did that with the Cowboy fight. And even after, he showed respect too. He went up to him and he told him, you know, good fight. Yeah. And yeah, I personally, I like this McGregor more. Mm-hmm. You know, seeing him talk smack is entertaining. You know, like who doesn't like hyping up the fight? It's very entertaining to see that. But I prefer this Conor McGregor more than the old one.
And then with this Cowboy win, you know, McGregor can go anywhere too. He can. We could have another Khabib and McGregor fight.
Yeah.
Number 2, we can also have a Nate Diaz McGregor triple fight. Yeah. You know, having to complete the trilogy. He can also fight Masvidal, which I will enjoy seeing too. I think he might go in that direction. And then I don't know. There was speculation that he might be. He was talking with Floyd too. Maybe he might do that. But I think he's just gonna stay in the UFC for now. Maybe go a couple of title shots as he's, you know, in the UFC, and you know, things are looking up for McGregor after this fight. And then also don't forget about the other cards too. That Holly Holmes one, that was bad. That was really bad. I saw that one, and it was just a clinch fight.
I heard there was a lot of upsets in the undercard. I heard.
Yeah, a lot of upsets. The heavyweight fight with Maurice Green and Olink. Maurice Green is like 6'7", basically like a Sasquatch, and then Alexei, he's like 6'2", and Alexei he's known to be to take out people with like submissions, and he did the same thing too with Maurice Green, but that Holly Holm fight, it wasn't the best. Most of the matches, they were just basically it was just basically a clinch battle. I mean, they didn't. She probably wanted to throw punches and have a better fight, but overall, it was just a bad battle. It was just a bad match between Holly Holmes and the other component. What was her? And Raquel Pennington. Yeah, it was a bad match, man.
Yeah, I have to agree with my boys right here. McGregor, before the fight, he did look more serious, and he was taking this from a different view. So I did have a feeling he was going to win, just not that fast. So I'm sorry for those who bought it pay-per-view. Yeah. But we also have to recognize Donald Cerrone Cowboy. He's a gentleman too. So McGregor, knowing that, had to take this fight as a gentleman. I don't know. We'll see where he goes from here.
Yeah. Hopefully, Mayweather needs money. That's why he's doing it.
I don't think so. I don't think he's gonna go with Mayweather.
I think he should stay in UFC.
He's gonna stay in UFC for a little bit of a while, and the next big matchup is Khabib and Ferguson. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's a lot of more fighters that he should probably.
Yeah, there's a lot of
good fights that you could get. Before he should move on to boxing if he wants to fight. Maybe.
Yeah. And then whoever comes up on top of that Khabib and Ferguson fight, I feel like Connor's gonna go after them. Even if it's Tony Ferguson, he's probably gonna go after him for just to get some wins under his belt. And then if it's Khabib, then we'll see maybe a Khabib fight. But Khabib won his first match with Connor. And Connor's trying to get that other match with Khabib, but I think Khabib's probably going to hesitate with that because he's probably going to want bragging rights for a little bit of a while.
Yeah.
I feel like Khabib will be next. Khabib or Masvidal, one of those two. Yeah. But yes, that's enough for boxing and UFC. Next up, we got baseball. I'm not sure if you heard, John. Astros signs stealing cheaters.
Got the news that morning, that afternoon, and you know what? We might get it. We might get our title back. Because the 2017 World Series, with Alex Correa stealing signs for the Astros. Let's face it, Astros weren't even the best team. We had a good chance at fighting for either winning the World Series that year. Yeah, we were favorites. It was a slight mishap with pitching, which eventually caused us to lose the World Series. But you know what? After all that, we could have won the World Series. And Alex Correa, he's already faced with this sign stealing from the Astros, and he's also maybe rumored to do it with the Red Sox. Yeah. And that's when we also faced the Red Sox. Just with the Red Sox and the Astros, it's different because the Red Sox, they were a good team. We had a battle for them, and I see that as understandable. But Alex Cora, man, he's like not even. I got no words for that, man. I just got no words.
Yeah, they put the baseball game to shame with that.
The only words I got is that we might get it. We might get back our World Series. The ones that we were robbed. So that was it.
Yeah. Well, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this first video. Joyasportsnetwork with his two buddies, Jose Miramontes and John Acuna. 30 subscribers, and we're out.